morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Whitney Ward.
And I'm Tom Sherry. Mark is off tonight. Gonzaga basketball season may be over, but that doesn't mean there isn't news about the team.
Yeah, that's for sure. Brenna Green is joining us now live in the KREM 2 newsroom with more on a longtime assistant who is now leaving the staff. Brenna?
Yeah, Arizona just confirmed that Tommy Lloyd is leaving Gonzaga to become the Wildcats' next head coach. Tommy has been with Gonzaga for over 20 years and became well known as the program's international recruiter. Former KREM sports director Darnay Tripp did a piece with Lloyd, Domas Sabonis, and Shemek Karnowski in 2015 to talk about Lloyd's prowess overseas. We're going to show you that now to really illustrate Tommy's impact at GU.
Tommy's been the driving force behind, us being able to get these guys.
I think he's the main key to this program for getting international bigs over or international any type of players.
Longtime Gonzaga assistant Tommy Lloyd was groomed for the task growing up in a home his parents opened up to one foreign exchange student after another, and as a young adult playing and coaching in Germany and Australia. Because of those experiences, he is right at home when he's a long way from home.
For one, I enjoyed traveling. I never regretted the trips. I always looked at it as, it's 18 or 20 hours and I'm halfway across the world. And even if I go to Europe for 2 or 3 days sometimes, I kind of feel refreshed and re-energized just getting over there, and it's got a different vibe to it. So I always enjoyed that, and part of that is my upbringing, having been exposed to a lot of different cultures and being comfortable talking to lots of people from different places and developing relationships and finding similarities.
Another thing he has found is talent, and perhaps most important, he's found it early. In 2012, he laid the foundation with 16-year-old Lithuanian product Domantas Sabonis, who had no clue college in the United States was even an option.
I was a big part because they were the first ones. They're the ones who spotted me.
Just as he did with 17-year-old Polish 7-footer Shemek Karnowski at a tournament in Germany.
I'm telling you, they were in touch with me for 2 years, so I really knew that they wanted me to come here and they wanted me to play for them. So I was really excited about that.
And Lloyd just kept showing up.
I was like, oh, you're coming again? I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. You're gonna fly from here to Poland and take a trip that is like 30 or 35 hours, and for him to just see one game and talk to me, it was amazing.
By the time the likes of Duke and Kansas took interest in Karnowski, just as others did with Sabonis, the decision was made.
Once we made the visits, we told Gonzaga and Tommy that if I would make my decision to go overseas, Gonzaga was the choice.
I knew Gonzaga was a perfect fit for me.
It kind of takes the pressure of having to get them to understand Gonzaga in 60 minutes. They can really get a year or two to really get a good feel for it on their own terms.
And if they end up on campus, Lloyd knows the bond they formed on their home turf has to strengthen on his.
And obviously, I feel responsible for their well-being and their experience when they're here, and I want to see them be as successful as they can possibly be at Gonzaga.
Both for the benefit of the player and the continuance of the pipeline.
We've had a good run of international kids, so we'll continue to look down that avenue, and if it keeps producing results, we'll keep going to it.
Obviously, the recruiting just kept going after that piece as Tommy nabbed Rui Hachimura, Killian Tilly, Filip Petrusev, and Joel Ayayi. Best of luck to Tommy. Totally worthy of getting a head coaching job. Very excited for him.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
No doubt that he left his mark here on this Gonzaga team.
And he is
legacy.
Totally deserving. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And we will miss him, but he certainly deserves this opportunity.
Good luck to him for sure. Well, starting tomorrow, all people aged 16 years and older in Washington are eligible to get their COVID-19 vaccine. Now, according to the State Department of Health, that means about 1.5 million more people will become eligible tomorrow.
So one of the most popular places to get vaccinated locally has been the Spokane Arena mass vaccination site. And that's where we find our own Ian Smay live tonight with more on how the vaccination process has been so far and what is being done to get ready for tomorrow. Ian.
Yeah, starting tomorrow, anyone age 16 or older in Washington can get vaccinated. But if you want to get vaccinated here at the arena, you need to be at least 18 years old, and that's because they're only offering the Moderna vaccine. And according to those running the site, they expect it to be business as usual starting tomorrow.
Walk-in appointments were offered today at the Spokane Arena mass vaccination site ahead of new eligibility tomorrow.
Really easy. I mean, I'm type 1 diabetic, so it's a little bit different for me than everybody else, but through like the Safeway stuff, it's been pretty easy.
After getting the first shot, I was I was a lot less stressed about it, and I keep telling people, hey, it's not as stressful as you think it is, and it's not. I compare it as like you don't even think about it, honestly.
Safeway Albertsons is one of the partners helping to run the arena vaccination site. They took over about a month or so ago.
We have adequate vaccine in order to cover people here, and like I say, we're trying to hit about 2,000 people a day that we can roll through here.
Safeway pharmacist Jason Talley also says that the state's halt on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine hasn't impacted efforts. That's because the site only offers the Moderna vaccine. If you do want to get vaccinated Thursday, you don't necessarily need an appointment. The arena will have some walk-ups available. Talley says it should only take a half hour to an hour, and the possible influx of people tomorrow shouldn't change wait times.
We're a pretty efficient, well-oiled machine at this point, and we're willing and able to take everybody who's willing to come down. So we're looking forward to filling those slots and getting Spokane vaccinated.
The hope is that with more people getting vaccinated, things can keep going back to the way they were before the pandemic.
I am very excited. I'm a Gonzaga student, so I'm really excited for classes to open up again and to be in person and to be able to actually do things and actually hang out with people.
The arena vaccination site opens at 9 a.m. Thursday through Saturday. It also opens at 11 a.m. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Now, the hours are later here at the arena on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and that's because the State Department of Health is requiring that mass vaccination sites stay open late at least 2 days a week. Reporting from the Spokane Arena, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
And you can also text the word vaccine to 509-448-2000 for more information on how to get your first dose appointment.
And with the national recommendation that states pause the Johnson & Johnson vaccination over blood clot concerns, medical experts are urging people to stay calm and consider the context of that announcement. They say the problem really only has less than 1 in a million probability based on known cases and no proven link yet. Dr. Vin Gupta of the University of Washington says it's also proof that despite the speed of this vaccine rollout, the system is working and is still accountable.
And the best way to convince people of that is just over time. And so this will diminish in importance over time, but in the short term, this is going to be certainly an obstacle we have to deal with and talk about directly and proactively, in my view.
So a panel of experts met today to discuss the extremely rare side effect that prompted the J&J halt and now how to proceed from here. Now, if you have received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and you develop a severe headache, abdominal pain, leg pain, or shortness of breath within 3 weeks after you receive that vaccine, make sure and contact your healthcare provider right away.
Meanwhile, here in Washington, health officials say that rising coronavirus cases and hospitalizations across the state are the result of a likely fourth wave. Previously, the CDC warned another spike in infections was coming in the United States because of the new variants and increased travel here in Washington. Hospitalization rates are rising among teens as well as people in their 40s and 50s. Right now, about 22.5% of Washington residents are fully vaccinated against the virus.
In some breaking news here in the city this afternoon, police were called to 28th and Rebecca. This is on Spokane's South Hill after a man called police saying his brother had pulled a gun on him. Officers say after he called 911, though, he then stabbed his brother. Once officers arrived on scene, medics were called in. The victim went to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Officers say they're still investigating and it's still unclear if anyone will face charges.
Well, we have some more breaking news to get to tonight. A 15-acre brush fire has shut down Route 27 from Palouse Highway to the Ditchman-Micah Road.
So fire crews are battling this fire on the ground and from the air. They have a lot of resources there right now. Currently, we're told there is no detour in place, but drivers are being asked to avoid the area if possible. It's still unclear when they will be out of that area, but certainly they'll be watching that entire area throughout the evening. According to Washington's DNR, the fire burned about 15 acres. Firefighters say they've got it about 75% knocked down so far.
First crews arrived, said that they had a wind-driven fire, was on both sides of the road, and they called for multiple resources.
They were able to move quickly, which certainly helped with the wind. There's no word right now on what caused those fires. But Tom, anytime we're talking about wildfires, we always want to know about the wind, and it's still kicking up out there right now. You can even see it.
Yeah, on our camera right here behind us, you can see it shaking right now. Take a look at this. These are some of the peak wind gusts that we've seen around the area. 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Spokane. You see a 40-mile-per-hour wind gust also over in the Deer Park area. We've got wind gusts that have been in excess of 36 miles per hour as you look towards areas of central Washington. So again, we are looking at very strong wind gusts. Now down where the fire has been burning, you can see the wind is gusting there at about 24 miles per hour. Temperatures still on the warm side in the 60s. So here's a look at what you can expect for your temperatures, current temperatures. We're at 63 degrees, and out at the airport, our wind right now is out of the northeast at 23 miles per hour. So here's a look at your day planner forecast. Mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 38 degrees. Look at that tomorrow. Not nearly as windy on your Thursday, and a high of 67. We should get into the 70s for the weekend before another cool front moves in on Monday. I'll talk about that with your 7-day forecast coming up.
Very much looking forward to that, Tom. Thank you.